Imagine this. You wake up in a comfortable bed. You have food in the fridge. You own a smartphone that gives you access to virtually all human knowledge. You have electricity, clean water, entertainment, and perhaps even a stable job. Compared to most people who have ever lived, you're incredibly fortunate. And yet, many people feel miserable, anxious, lonely, and empty. Some of the wealthiest societies in human history are also experiencing record levels of depression, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. So, here's the question. If we have more than ever before, why are so many people less happy than ever before? In this video, we're going to explore one of the great paradoxes of modern life. Why having everything doesn't necessarily make us happy, and why many people spend their entire lives chasing something they can never quite catch. For most of human history, survival was the primary goal. People worried about famine, disease, war, and shelter. Life expectancy was short, and comfort was rare. Yet, by almost every measurable standard, life has improved dramatically. Global poverty has fallen. Medical advances have saved millions of lives. Technology has connected the world, and this means we live longer, healthier, and more comfortable lives than our ancestors. Yet, surveys across many developed nations reveal a troubling trend. Large numbers of people report feeling stressed, disconnected, and dissatisfied. How can this be? The answer begins with understanding a simple truth about human nature. Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. The idea is simple. Whatever improves our lives eventually becomes normal. The new car, the promotion, the bigger house, and the higher salary. At first, these things bring excitement. But over time, they become our new baseline. What once felt extraordinary starts feeling ordinary. After then, we begin wanting something else, something bigger, something newer, or something better. It's like running on a treadmill where you keep moving, but you never actually arrive. The happiness boost from material success is often temporary. Once the novelty fades, we return to roughly the same level of happiness we had before. This is why people who finally achieve their dream lifestyle often find themselves asking, "Is this all there is?" Now, let's add another modern problem, and that is social media. For most of history, people compared themselves to their neighbors. Today, we compare ourselves to millions of people. Every day, we're exposed to carefully edited highlights of other people's lives, such as luxury holidays, perfect relationships, successful careers, beautiful homes, and expensive cars. What we rarely see are the struggles behind the scenes, like the debt that has been accumulated to fund their fantasy lifestyles, the loneliness, the anxiety, and the failures. Social media creates the illusion that everyone else is happier, richer, and more successful than we are. And comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy contentment. As former American President Theodore Roosevelt famously observed, comparison is the thief of joy. The problem is not necessarily what we have, since the real problem lies with what we think everyone else has. And here's something surprising. Research consistently suggests that purpose contributes more to long-term happiness than comfort. Think about the most meaningful moments in your life. Were they easy? Probably not. For instance, finishing a degree, starting a business, raising children, overcoming illness, and building something from nothing. These experiences often involve struggle, sacrifice, and uncertainty. Yet, they provide something comfort alone cannot provide, and that is meaning. Humans aren't designed merely to consume pleasure. We're designed to pursue goals, to overcome challenges, to grow. Without purpose, comfort can become surprisingly empty. Imagine playing a video game where every level is automatically completed for you. You receive every reward instantly, with no effort on your part, no challenge, and no obstacles. It sounds wonderful for a little while, but then it becomes boring. Life works in much the same way, where meaning often emerges from effort and not from ease. Another reason many people are unhappy is that modern life has become increasingly disconnected. Despite being more digitally connected than ever before, many people feel profoundly alone. We can message hundreds of people instantly, yet meaningful relationships often remain scarce. Human beings evolved in close-knit communities where we lived in tribes. Families often stayed together, and neighbors knew one another. Today, many people spend hours interacting with digital screens rather than people, and the result? Loneliness. And loneliness is far more dangerous than many realize. Studies have linked chronic loneliness to increased risks of depression, cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and even premature death. The irony is striking, because although technology has connected the world, it has not necessarily connected people in the way nature has intended. Modern society constantly tells us that happiness is something we should achieve. We see advertisements promising happiness and movies selling happiness, as well as influencers displaying happiness. The message is everywhere. If you buy this, if you achieve that, if you become successful, then you'll be happy. But life doesn't work that way. Every generation faces challenges. Every person experiences setbacks. Every life contains suffering. When people expect permanent happiness, ordinary difficulties can feel like personal failures. They begin asking, "What's wrong with me?" And the answer is often, nothing is wrong. Life in the modern world is simply more complicated because there are more distractions, which can sometimes be overwhelming. Happiness was never meant to be a permanent emotional state. It comes and goes, just like sadness, just like excitement, and just like fear. So, if wealth, comfort, and possessions aren't enough, what does contribute to lasting happiness? Researchers have identified several factors repeatedly associated with higher life satisfaction. First, strong relationships. Perhaps the most famous study on happiness is the Harvard study of adult development. After tracking participants for decades, researchers reached a remarkably simple conclusion. Good relationships are one of the strongest predictors of a happy life. Not wealth, not fame, not status, but relationships. Second is purpose. People who feel their lives have meaning tend to report greater well-being. Third is gratitude. Regularly focusing on what we already have can reduce the endless desire for more. Fourth is physical health. Exercise, sleep, and nutrition affect our emotional well-being more than many people realize. And finally, your contribution. Helping others often increases happiness more than helping ourselves, because the happiest people frequently have something larger than themselves to care about. Perhaps the biggest mistake people make is believing happiness lies somewhere in the future. After the next promotion, or after the next purchase, the next relationship, or even after the next achievement. But happiness has a habit of remaining just over the horizon, always one step away, or always attached to the next milestone. The real secret may be simpler, such as learning to appreciate what is enough and not giving up ambition or abandoning goals. Instead, you should recognize that happiness isn't found exclusively at the finish line. It's found in the process or the journey, in the relationships we build, in the challenges we overcome, in the meaning we create, and the gratitude we cultivate along the way. So, why are so many people unhappy despite having everything? Because having everything isn't the same as having meaning. Because comfort isn't the same as connection. Because wealth isn't the same as purpose. And because human beings were never designed to find lasting fulfillment in possessions alone. The pursuit of happiness often leads us outward, towards more money, more success, and more status. But the answers we seek are frequently found elsewhere. They are found in relationships, in purpose, in gratitude, and in understanding that a meaningful life may matter more than a perfectly happy one. So perhaps the question isn't, how can I get more? Perhaps the better question is, what truly matters? And the answer to that question may change your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Do you think people today are happier than previous generations? Why or why not? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.